Milpa. La milpa. Well, here, us Mayas, milpa is something regular. It's a daily living thing. Cultivation of la milpa dates back as 3,500 years ago or even 4,000 years ago. And but some of you might ask, what is la milpa? Milpa is interplanting of what what we need to sustain ourselves. In our case, osmayas, corn, or some people will call it maize, beans, squash. We call them the three sisters. We plant the corn, we plant the beans. The vine of the beans will climb up the corn, and we plant the squash so that it helps with the weed not coming out. So more or less that is la milpa. However, we, the women, did not only plant these three plants, not just the corn and beans and the squash. We also planted other vegetables that we need we, to use in our kitchen. Um, Women, as we know, are key agents in achieving environmental and social changes for the development of the family, of the community, and of the nation. We found out that salaries earned are not enough to buy everything necessary to feed the family. For this reason, the women of Kanan Miatzil, the women of Guardians of Culture, decided to create La Milpa the way our ancestors did, so that the family can produce and consume fresh and healthy products at low cost for a balanced diet, and thus alleviate their economic situation in a certain way. Next, next slide. Okay, we planted corn, we planted beans, we planted squash, we planted okras, cilantros, cucumbers, and we thought it was going to be an easy job. It was not the way you think. What you think is not what you live when you are on the spot, on the space. We noticed that we had challenges. One, the drought. We had to be every morning watering our plants because no rain from the heavens. But another challenge was the insects, the worms eating our plants. We found out that we had to do something about this. And since Kanan Miatzil ladies wanted an organic milpa, well, some suggested, well, go to the how we call that place that sells things to spray the plants. I can't recall the names. Okay, but then we said, no, that is not what we want. We want organic milpa. So that is what we did. Next slide, please. Most of us, all of us, not most of us, all of us, was our first time experimenting in planting a milpa. Well, we thought, and this is if our ancestors did, we can do it. So, but working on the milpa, we found challenges, and as mentioned, one of them was the insects and the worms eating our plants. So we did not want to go and buy pesticides and insecticides, commercial pesticides and insecticides. So some of the ladies checked with their grandfathers what they used to do, how they used to fix up this problem. And they were told that at that time a milpa was easy. You just go, you plant, and then you harvest. At that time, there were not so many insects eating the plants. But since that was not our case, well, we had to find something to do. We were lucky that right here in our community, we have the agricultural station where we have agricultural officers, people who can help. Therefore, we contacted them, and then they offered to show us how to make organic insecticides, organic pesticides. What we had to use? We had to use things that we can find in the market. In this picture, we can see the ladies peeling the garlic, cutting onions. In fact, what we use for our organic insecticide was we used garlic, we used ginger, we used onions, we used mint, we used epazote, we used um, herbs that have a scent, like the basil, like the epazote, like the mint. We also use habanero peppers, the chili peppers. We also use the rice. Whenever you pound the rice, there's a little brown skin that comes off. We use that. We use vinegar, and we use alcohol. So all these ingredients we have in our kitchen. Therefore, we just gathered the amount that we needed. We blended everything, and we had our organic insecticide. We were instructed on how to do it, how to use it, and when to use it. Therefore, we gained, because this was a knowledge that we did not know. And after using it, we found out that it works well. Next slide, please. Okay, so again here we see the habaneros, the aromatic herbs, the onions, the garlic, everything that we use. And the ladies worked as a team. All of us worked as a team. So we did not find it very difficult to produce this insecticide. Next. Next slide. Oh, lo and behold, after so much work under the sun hot, now it's a time to rejoice. Ladies are proudly showing off their products from La Milpa. In this picture, we can see cucumber, we can see beans, we can see cilantro, which we had a lot. Unfortunately, at that time when we harvested our cilantro, it was just selling for $4 a pound. Now, yesterday, it was selling at $50 a pound. So also, that is a learning for us. We must learn when to plant if you're going to plant lots. If you're going to plant just for your consumption, well, you can plant it anytime. But if you're going to plant lots, you have to find the months when they are scarce so you get a good price for your vegetables. Next slide. The pumpkin, the squash. Pumpkin belongs to the squash family. This was a gift from Mother Earth. We did not expect to harvest this much. We had pickup loads of the pumpkins. Not easy work. We had to cut up the pumpkins, extract all the pepitos that are inside. We had to wash them, and we have to spread them on the sun to dry. So in this picture, we use zinc sheets to spread all the pepitos, and then it takes like 3 days of very hot sun for it to dry, so we can store it. This, yes, we can store, not like our cilantro. Our cilantro, we cannot store the cilantro and wait until it's $50 a pound to sell it. We have to sell it on the same day you harvest it. However, the pepitos, we had the opportunity to make it dry and then store it, and now we sell whenever it has a high price. Next slide, please. Again, we have excess. Even though the group is 10 members, we had excess. We could not consume all that we harvested. Therefore, we sold our excess. We harvested lots and lots and lots of cucumbers. So we had to sell. Also, this beside the cucumber, we have another type of squash. These are consumed when they are young. When they are ripe also, we can harvest the pepitos just the way you saw the previous one, but it's another type. And the seeds are used differently. The seeds that are used more often are the ones with the that we harvested, that we showed you first. So the ladies, all of us had excess, and either we gave it away to families, friends, or we sold the excess. Next slide. Looking at these pictures, really working in La Milpa was not easy. All of us know that it's not easy to work under the sun hot. However, it really has its advantages. Working in La Milpa helps us to reconnect with nature. The women, they go inside the milpa. La milpa is a place where the women reconnect with nature. La milpa is a place of learning, a place of observation, and of caring. That motivates the women and their families because the crops planted in the milpa are those related to the needs and the preferences of the family. Most naturally, we have to plant those that grow in the area. At La Milpa, the women of Cananetsil, as a group, participate in different productive activities and ensure food and nutrition for the entire family. We plant and we harvest the food needed by the family. From the milpa, can we change the slide? Next slide. From milpa to tourism. Women saw, because everybody was talking about La Milpa, therefore, people got to know about the women and the Milpa at Pachamama. Therefore, women started to provide tours of La Milpa, of course, with pride, to the tourists who visit the area. The women prepare the food from La Milpa's harvest, making the acronym from La Milpa to the table, making it true. These they serve to the visitors and also engage them in the preparation of the food. Next slide. From La Milpa at Pachamama. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed and learned from women.